Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is December 18, 2024, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Tesla pushes higher and breaks above its 200-day moving average. But first, looking at today's major economic events, so it's the last of 2024. We're going to have the last FOMC rate statement from the United States at 9 p.m. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Canadian dollar continues to weaken versus the USD and make new lows. And as we look at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ just taper lower. Looking at commodity, oil gets a nice bounce while gold remains unchanged. Looking at the stocks, they're really mixed, and we're going to take it one by one. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin sells off after a nice push to new record highs. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go with the Canadian dollar, just pushing to new record highs, 143.216. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of a breath out to really take this in. Now, we have been lower than this historically, but this is really not good. What's happening in Canada, just in general, is not a happy situation. The economy is crumbling, and it's really because of some of the, the policies, you could call it, that they've just introduced in the past 9 years. And this is having some severe effect on the Canadian dollar. You can see it right here, 143. Now, if it has broken this resistance, okay, because it's a candle. Now, the other times that we were at this level, it was only a wick. This is more pressing. And this may mean that we can still go up to something like 150. I mean, it's no different than the Turkish lira for all intents and purposes. Also, on the other side of the globe, we're looking at the Australian dollar. And the Australian dollar also continues to sell off versus USD. It's at a supportish level right here. 62-ish level is going to be its supportish level. Let's see if it does break it. It's going to be historic if it does. Now, looking at the Turkish lira, making new lows. Nothing new there. So, just a sell short and just avoid the Turkish lira. That's all I could say. Now, looking at commodities. Crude oil got a nice bounce there above $72. It's been very choppy. Hasn't been such an easy trade, so keep that in mind. However, if we look at the other markets, the U.S. markets did taper off. We're looking at the Dow Jones just selling off a little bit, and so did the NASDAQ right before we get into the holidays. And this is something that's to be expected. However, what's our focus today? Well, let's take a look at Tesla, because Tesla keeps just on going and going. Now, you could have broken this up several times ago. I mean, I've been watching this. We've been watching this for a long time, right? It's gap and go, it's gap and go, gap and go again, gap and go. Now, if you look at a daily chart, that is just, didn't even give you a chance to buy it. There was no pullback, right? And look, we're above that 200-day moving average on a weekly chart. That's super important. That may mean we could be somewhere back in this area. Next resistance is $600. Now, obviously, this has to do with Elon Musk being part of the next administration to some degree or another. But watching this very carefully because it's in play. Now, looking at the other stocks, they tapered lower. I mean, Facebook tapered lower. If we look at the banks, they also tapered lower. JP Morgan tapered lower. Bank of America is tapering lower. This is right as the setup. It could be that this is leading us to a rally towards the holiday season. It's got to first sell off. So this is exactly what's happening as we get to that. Now, NVIDIA also took a tapering lower. Lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading at 104, clear to 108-ish level, but did sell off right afterwards. I mean, this is just a decent sell-off after a nice push up, but it may use this 30-day moving average as a support. So keep that in mind for today as well. It may bounce right off of it. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.